Hi, everyone. Welcome to the channel. Have you ever wondered why America has a love affair with Israel? Through the years of like decades for me, it's crossed my mind from time to time about the special relationship we have with the nation of Israel. But I think really what brought it home and got me to thinking was the recent address by Benjamin Netanyahu to the joint session of Congress. 50 some odd standing ovations in as many minutes. You would have thought Abraham Lincoln had came back to address Congress. I've never seen, I don't think an American leader, much less a foreign leader, receive that kind of enthusiasm in Congress. And even worse, at one point in the speech, this foreign leader from a foreign nation has the gall to chastise Americans that are outside the building protesting the war in Gaza. Well, the last time I checked, that's the First Amendment right. The First Amendment right. And really what's stomach turning is all the Republicans, all the guys that the NRA is giving all this money to, the Second Amendment guys, they're jumping up and giving a standing ovation for a foreign leader chastising American citizens for exercising their First Amendment rights. You can't make this stuff up. So this got me thinking, why? Why is this such a situation where, to me, it's the tail wagging the dog? How can Israel have this much influence over American politics? And so it got me to thinking, and I started doing a little digging, and I encourage you folks to do the same. Don't take anybody's word for anything. Don't take my word for anything. Especially don't take the news media's word for anything. And by all means, never a politician's word for everything. You've got all these resources at your disposal now with the internet, with Google and everything online. There's just tons of research you can do to try to dig down and find the answers to some of these questions if they bother you like they do me. But so I did some checking, and it didn't take long to dig, but come to find out, Israel throws a lot, or let me put it this way, organizations that their sole purpose is to promote the interest of Israel throws a lot of money around in Washington to the politicians. A lot. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. In fact, AIPAC, which is one of the largest lobbying groups out there for the interest of Israel, my understanding is in the 24 election cycle, they have dedicated or said they're going to fund up to $100 million to primary any member of Congress who dares question Israel or anything about Israel. If you dare to question the policies of Israel in any way, you're deemed anti-Semitic, and they're going to primary you, which means they're going to throw millions of dollars behind somebody else to try to get them to be able to take your place in the election. Somebody who is will legislate more favorable to their interest. Is this not a perfect definition of foreign election interference? I mean, how if millions of dollars go into elections to change the outcome because we're not looking out the interests of a foreign nation, I mean, that is, to me, that's the pure definition of foreign election interference. But nobody cares. Nobody. This goes on, and we point the finger. Russia can spend $5,000 on Facebook ads, and oh my God, they've changed the whole, the presidential election. I mean, give me a break. But Israel can throw hundreds of millions of dollars into political funding and elections, and it's fine. It's okay. This stuff is just, it's really unbelievable, and it's really, it's concerning. Where does this stop? where does the influence of Israel have over our country stop? I'm going to just look a little. I'll just give you a little bit of the clip here, and I know most of you have probably seen it, but just take a few seconds to watch this. This is the entire Congress, with the exception of some Democrats. A few Democrats did not go. Bless his heart, Tommy Massey, Republican, did not go, and I think he should be given a medal for that. But all the other Republicans fell right in. Fell right in. Again, Netanyahu basically, how dare the people out there outside the building exercise their First Amendment right. But
Members of Congress, I now have the high privilege and distinction.
Supporters were fine with it. Jump right up, give a standing ovation. So, guys, I don't know. I don't know what to think about this. I think, uncovered the top. I've looked at a few things there. One of the things I know I'm rambling, but getting back to why, we've talked about millions and millions of dollars going into elections for candidates and for our politicians. But there's some other interesting things too. Since Israel became a nation, we have given foreign aid of around $310 billion adjusted for inflation in economic and military assistance to the state of Israel. Right now, at this moment, the United States has provisionally agreed via a memorandum of understanding to provide Israel with $3.8 billion per year through 2028. This comes from a document from the Council, or paper from the Council on Foreign Relations that I'm getting this, just in case you're wondering, if you want to look it up. They now also, since the war with Hamas, we've enriching the pot. Now we're throwing in another $12.5 billion in military aid to Israel. But something that is I found interesting about the $3.8 billion that we give annually, there is some good news there. There's some good news there for certain people in America. It's stipulated that out of these billions of dollars we give annually to Israel, guess where they have to spend it? They have to spend it with American defense contractors. They have to spend it to buy weapons, planes, missiles, whatever, from American defense contractors, who also happen to be quite generous to politicians in Washington. They also give millions and millions of dollars to our politicians. So when I look at the clip that I just showed you, and how can we not ask ourselves, who does Congress work for? Do they work for the American people? Do they work for you? Do they work for me? Do they have our interest in mind? I've never seen, we have 80,000 people dying in this nation annually from fentanyl poisoning, fentanyl coming across the southern border. When this is brought up in Congress, I've never seen this kind of enthusiasm to do anything about it. I never have seen this kind of enthusiasm to do anything about our immigration problem. I'm not anti-immigration. I have relatives that are in the process of immigrating now, but they're doing it the right way, and it's taken tens of thousands of dollars and years to do it the right way. So I'm not against immigration. What I'm against is being able to cut in line. I have many, many good friends of Hispanic origin. And I love these people. They're great people. They're hardworking people. And I would like to see people that generally want a better better time for their or better situation for their family to be able to come to America. But it has to be it's got to be in an organized fashion. And I really don't know how I got off on the immigration thing. Other than, why can't Congress put a little bit of enthusiasm behind solving some of these things, domestic problems that need to be solved? So, guys, that's just, I wanted to talk on that. And I am not anti-Israel. I'm not calling for the destruction of Israel. What I'm asking for is, we got to question this, and maybe Israel has got to be held accountable some on this. I don't think we'll ever get a solution in the Middle East if one side has the complete blessing of the superpower of the world and the other side doesn't. Why did they have to go to the negotiating table? What have they got to lose? So I think that the answer may be to put some pressure on Israel to come to a two-state solution. That's the only way this thing's going to work. The Palestinians are there. They were there before. What's the alternative? Genocide? Is that what they're trying to do now? Genocide? And what few have left, ship them off to France, maybe some here to the U.S. or wherever. No, that's not the solution. There's got to be a two-state solution, and Israel has got to be forced to come to the negotiating table and get a final solution for the problem that's going on there. If not, this is just going to continue. So that's what I've got to say in this interview, and I'm going to keep digging, and I encourage you to. And in the comments, fact check me. If I'm saying something wrong, call me out on it. I'm not here to try to persuade anyone in any particular fashion. I'm just myself digging into this thing and exploring these things that bother me, and they should bother you too. So dig into it. Get online. Start doing some research. Go back and look at the British mandate. Start there. Start checking on some of the history of how we even got to a situation with this Palestinian-Israeli conflict. It goes back decades and decades. This is not something new. And if you look, you're going to see, as usual, the West has their hand in what started this whole thing. Check out the British mandate. And maybe I'll talk about that in the next video. And I appreciate you watching, and everyone, God bless you.